is going on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up.
What is going on? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland. What is going on? It is Thursday, Tech Thursday, back from vacation, if you can call it vacation. Back from vacation, and I'm glad to be here. Feel like I gotta plug that light back in. It's been a while since I plugged it in. Hopefully. Let's see if this actually works. I have a brand new power source coming for my sign here. And then that way, it'll illuminate. I knew I was missing something. I've been trying to get my my comment section to work again. Doesn't want to work properly, but that's what happens. So there we go. That's a little better. That flows a little nicer. Okay. Is that the Kendrick Lamar in the opening theme? It is not. I use a music site called Epidemic Sound, and I pay for it monthly, and it came from there. And it just kind of it worked for what I was doing. Doesn't really work for Tech Thursday per se, just because it's the wake up show was really for interviews. So I'll probably change that intro when I have a minute. I'll keep the intro for when I actually do interviews, but for Tech Thursday doesn't really make as much sense. So that's what's going on here. Yeah. So we got Ruben Becker in the house, Queso in the building, Power Friend, happy Thursday all, Philip 10 in the building. What is going on? T Reed, Mixmaster G. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. And then Mike. Just Mike. It's all we have is just Mike, but that is okay. Mike, good to see you. Thanks for hanging out today. Appreciate you. So it is Tech Thursday. We know what we need to do. If we have any questions, we have to go ahead and hit that hashtag ask, and I'm going to turn on my fan, while we're doing this. I'm going to hit it one more time. It's always awkward when it comes back and I'm like, not here. Okay, so Tech Thursday's questions and answers. We're going to try to answer as many as possible. I will say this right off the top. The in Cleveland is not off. You guys have dirty minds. You see, the wake up in Cleveland is not about anything sexual. It's not about anything physical. It has always been about the mind of Cleveland Terry. It's wake up in Cleveland. You're waking up in my mind. The show is about the mind. If something like that. Anyway, that's what it is. It's never been about waking up in Cleveland, because then that'd be weird, because I'd be like you know what it'd be like. I don't think I'd want to be woken up every morning like that. Oh, anyway. So let's figure out what we are going to do. Do I still have music playing? No, I paused it. Okay. Let's see if my chat actually wants to work now. I doubt it, but you never know. Okay, I see it there. And I just cannot get it to, I don't want to wake up with Cleveland. Wake up in Cleveland just makes sense. Okay. So just so you know, it's a play. It is a play on, what is that? Was it the show Hot in Atlanta or something like that? It's a play. That's it. Nothing special about it. You don't have to read into it. It's okay. I do want my chat to come up though, and it's really bothering me that it's not. See, that's what I get. That is not what I wanted. Oh, I know what they're going to make me do. I know what I need to do. Okay. We'll fix that in a second. That's really annoying. So let's get back to the chat. And okay. It's weird. It's only weird to you, power friend. Let it go. You have to move on. Here's the thing, guys and girls. Here's the thing. In life, there are things that you have the power to change, and there are things that you don't have the power to change. And in this case, you don't have the power to change it. So when you don't have the power to change something, then there's no need to feel anything because you can't control it anyway. So just move on. You know, I am a very rational human being, and my wife is not. She's emotional. So when things go wrong in life, she freaks out. I only freak out over things that I know I can control and I don't. Or somebody does something that's in their control and they don't. If it's just something that happens, you know, stroke of bad luck, you know, what are you going to do about it? You know, like if I walk outside right now and a tree has fallen on my truck, I'm not going to be mad. Honestly, why should I be mad? It's not like I ran into the tree and then the tree fell on me. The tree just fell. Act of God. Let it go. Move on. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, things that you can't change, don't worry about. This is one of those don't worry about moments. Okay. Let's check out some chat here. Let's see if we can answer some questions. And hopefully some questions, obviously, I'm not going to be able to answer. I always say, because that's just the nature of what we do here. Have you seen steak? I always get it wrong. State Farm Jake, have you seen the YouTube video on AI lighting? I have not, but I'd be very interested in seeing that video. Anything where I don't have to do much and it knows what I want. See, the problem with all AI, the problem with pretty much everything out there, and this includes like SoundSwitch's AI technology. The problem is it's written by people, and people have to kind of figure out what works on a global scale. And when it's on a global scale, you're going to run into some outliers for people that are like, I don't really like that. That's not how I would program my lights. So while I love SoundSwitch, there are certain aspects of SoundSwitch I'm just like, like their auto scripting to me is just okay at best. But overall, it's a great thing. But yeah, so I have not seen any videos about lighting, but if it's anything like, you know, the videos where they take your images and they make new images out of you and all that stuff, you just kind of type in, you know, Cleveland Terry, with a hammer, you know, playing the fiddle, and then it'll like generate that picture perfectly. We're about to all become obsolete. All of us. If somebody can write an algorithm that can take all the music played on, like, say, Spotify or Tidal, right? If they can take all that music and then take and analyze the actual music play per person, you know, so obviously you're not going to take like regular Spotify because you can't fast forward and all that stuff. But if they were able to take what human beings actually do when they're listening to the music, like, oh, they always fast forward this part and always go here. And they make sure they always play this part. But for some reason, when they're playing this song, after it gets to like a minute and a half, they go to the next song. Why is that? If somebody could take all of that data, right, and then turn that into usable data, DJs would be in a really bad place. Really, really bad place. Just in all honesty. The problem is they don't have that technology, well, at least that we know about. They probably do, but it's like on a NASA ship somewhere right now, and it won't come down to us for like 20 years. Okay. Let's see here. Michael. I'm not going to even try to pronounce your last name. Thank you for coming out. Jason Gardner in the house. What is going on? Lenny Lewis. Is a majorly updated computer inevitable for STEMS 3.0? I don't know that I would say majorly updated. I think that if you're getting anything of the newer generation, especially, I'm not going to speak for Windows right now. Okay. I'm only going to speak for Mac, but like if you have an M1 Mac, M1, M2, any chipset off the M1 or M2, I think you're fine. On the PC, I think you're going to have to probably be rocking an i7, or even the, stovetop cooker, the i9. It's probably, and look, again, I don't know all the chipsets that have come out in a long time, so I'm not going to be that person. But in reality, the chipsets are great, but it's really the graphics cards. Like stems. I don't know if, I know that Virtual DJ will utilize the graphics card to offload the processing. I am not sure about stems. I am not sure. Based upon Serato's track record, I'm going to assume that it's not using the graphics card, but I could be wrong. But yes, the better the computer, the newer the computer, the better you're going to be rocking stems. I have not heard one person that's using an M1 anything that has had problems. So, and even I think if you're rocking an i7 and one of the newer MacBooks, the 2016s and up, I think you're going to be fine also. Now, you might run into some overheating, because that's what happens, but in general, you're probably fine. Anybody that's talking to me about a 2012, well, it still runs just fine when I use, nobody cares. Nobody cares, because this is not, you cannot expect your 10 to 12-year-old computer to be up to snuff for everything in the future. We got to move on. We have to move on. If you're rocking a 2012 computer, it's time. It's time. Come on, guys. I know you want to fight it. And look, computers are expensive, but when I tell you, you've made every dime back on that purchase of that computer. Every dime. There's no reason that you have to feel bad for getting rid of that computer or putting it as a backup. You've made your money back. It's been 10 years. You've recouped all costs, all of them. You can move on now. You can move on. Okay. Ruben Becker, what's up with the Pioneer site saying there's a new Ventura driver, but the links all lead to the old ones? Well, chances are everybody's been updating their stuff. So I think within the next week or so, I believe we're going to see a lot of things happen. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, moving on. It's probably they updated and they forgot to update the driver section on the server. It'll happen. Okay. All right, Ernesto in the building. What is going on? That's what insurance is for. Yeah, true. Very true. Okay, Mike, need help deciding on a new mixer, getting back into DJing, coming from a Vestax 05 and 1200s. Hey, we all had those. The PMCs were no joke. Horrible mic preamps, but still a very good mixer. Had an OGS 01, no budget restriction, S7 or Rane. Should I wait? Well, oh man. Okay, so you have no budget restriction, yet you're staying on the S7 and the Rane 70 and not moving to like the S11. So I guess my question would be, why are they not part of your selections? The Rane 70, Rane 72 and the S11. I'm not the biggest fan of the Rane 72, but like, I'm just curious why. Now, having said that, I've used both. The S7 and the Rane 70 are excellent. I actually own a Rane 70. And I love it. I think you can't go wrong with either mixer either the Rane 70 or the S7. They're both really, really good mixers. Layouts are pretty identical. The only thing I will say is right off the bat, I do prefer the Magville fader on the S7. I had to upgrade my fader to an Innofader. I have it right here. By the way, I always work out when I before my show. I'm sore. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let's see if we can do this. You have no idea how sore I am right now. Oh my God. Okay. I don't know if my camera is actually going to. See what I do for you? I'm breaking stuff left and right. Okay. All right. We're going over it. Oh, that's what I dropped. I dropped my Stream Deck. Where'd it go? Where did my Stream Deck go? Okay. I got to find my Stream Deck real quick. Lots of cables here. So, hold on one moment.
This is a journey into sound. This is a journey. This is a journey into sound. Sound.
Okay, that is not my overhead. There we go. Okay. So, like I said, it's a little bit of a mess here. And I don't need this right now. I'll come back to that. And my camera is not where it's supposed to be. Oh, well, I'm not going to stress over it. Okay. So, this is the Rane 70. Very, very good mixer. Let's see. Where's my thing here? Obviously, it's a standalone, and so it can be used with vinyl. It can be used with DVS. It can be used with everything. And it literally is one of my favorite mixers. But like I said before, yeah, I did change the fader. This is now a Inno fader, but it has, the instant doubles, which can also be your silent cue. The pads are excellent. The paddles are fantastic. And, everything else just kind of works on it. It works really well. The only discrepancy that you'd have with this one is, the USBs are slightly underpowered. So if you're trying to run something off of them, like, I don't know, it fluctuates on which one, but if you want to run phase, you might have, one of those things where they don't get powered properly. So you might have to run one of those, like, 2 USB into one to kind of charge it properly. I've had it work both ways. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, but that's really the only thing. But besides that, it's a fantastic mixer. Big fan of it. Big fan. All right, so let's see what this guy's got going on. God, I hate this guy. Oh, man. Let me just see.
So,
I hate his face. Hate his face. Dislike. Can't see anymore. Cannot get this light to stand up properly now. It was standing up great. Now it hates my guts. it's guaranteed gonna fall. Guaranteed. I'm reluctant to get myself an umbrella because I'm trying to stay away from that. I used to have this one light panel over here, but then it was providing way too much light onto the screen too. So I removed it. So now I have to find a way to attach it, back it up, and not show up on the screen. Then that way we'll all be happy. Well, at least one of us will be happy. Can't talk about you guys. Okay. Let's see here. What are my questions? Serato stems are using video. Okay. Okay, great. So make sure that you have a good graphics card. Now the M1s, we know that they have shared graphics cards. They're all integrated together, but they do a really, really good job. So I have the M1 Pro with the 10 core. It's got 10 core CPU, I think 14 core graphics. And it's been great for me. I haven't had a single problem with stems. Real time works perfectly. Maybe every so often there's like a half second to a full second delay on when it works. But as long as you're not like playing the song and stimming immediately, you should never run into any problems with any newer computers. Stems is a premium feature, says Left Cat, but you need a premium laptop. Yeah, agreed. Okay. So, Max SPL, pretty sure. Okay. Everybody's saying the same thing. Cool. I can jump ahead. Power Friend spoke to VDJ. The M1 RTX graphics card is the only thing that uses the code they built for real time. You can pre-compute the tracks using your CPU. Yes, you can pre-compute. I think for the most part, I like that the pre-compute option is there. I just think it's not really. I mean, Serato has the same thing. They have a pre-compute folder. I just don't think it's all that. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some jerry rigging here. All right, there we go. Stay out. I just don't think it's all that great to have a pre-compute. I'm not going to pre-compute my playlist. I'm not going to pre-compute. Okay, so let's say here, for me, all right, let's say that I play, 30 to 40 songs an hour. Let's just say that. Okay. Sometimes faster, sometimes more. So let's just even it out. We'll say 50 songs, 50 songs in an hour. I play for 4 hours. Okay. So I'm playing 200 songs, give or take. I am going to now take my computer, throw those 200 songs into the pre-compute. Now I have, some cases 3 and 4 versions of all of those songs. That's just silly to me. That's silly. It's silly. In my opinion, if you want to use stems, use stems. Get yourself a better computer and use it the way it's intended on the fly. I don't know too many people, unless you're doing like an actual routine, that are going to go out of their way to say, oh, well, tonight I'm going to play this song and this song and this song. So I make sure I can pre-compute them. Like, I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. So I personally, if that were the only way I could use stems, I'm probably not using stems, in all honesty, because I'm an on the fly person. I want to take a bass line out when I want to take a bass line out, and if I have to pre-compute my entire catalog, now, my 20 gigs of music is maybe 80 gigs of music. So that's now, 60 more gigs of files that I have to just randomly keep on my computer. No, thanks. I'd rather just buy a better computer. Just an opinion. You guys can pre-compute all you want. I'm not going to do it. There are certain things that I'm okay with doing, and there's certain things that I'm not. And that's one of them. Like, it needs to make my life easier, not harder. And pre-computing to me makes my life harder, because that means that if I don't have, let's say I download 15 new tracks before the event. Okay. Then I start doing the party, and pre-computing is not very fast. So let's just throw that out there too. And I start DJing, and I'm like, oh, let me play this in, and I've got a mix coming in, and I'm like, oh, I need to take the bass line out. I need to, take the drum, whatever I need to do. I don't want to think, oh, wait, I forgot to pre-compute. Like, no, thanks. I'd rather just have a faster computer. Look, you guys, you're all professionals, right? This is what you do. You know, some don't do it for like a full-time living, but you do it for a living. It is a supplemental or it is a full-time gig. Why in the world would you concern yourself? This is a business expense. Buying a new computer, you can write off the entire amount. Come on, guys. We don't need to make our lives harder just because. Okay. I just rendered fine on a 5-year-old Windows laptop, but upgraded components definitely help. Watch your system resources. Yeah, agreed. Okay. Where is it? People. Leftcat says people using 10-year-old computers would buy a new car every 3 years. Yeah. Or, you buy a new iPhone every year. I mean, I'm rocking an iPhone 12, iPhone 13. What number are we at? Are we at 14? I'm rocking the year before. And the only reason why, I don't even know why I had because I had an 11. So I upgraded to the 13. The 14 came out. I saw it. I'm like, it's not enough. The only way I'm going to upgrade now, the only way is if this little port right here becomes USB-C as a setted wood. If this is USB-C, I'm upgrading. Now, the 14 camera, the stability, all those things, the motion stability, all that is going to be in the 15. So I won't have a reason to update for a long time. I'm just waiting for USB-C. That's it. USB-C will make me happy. Okay. CT looking swole. Well, I should. I mean, I do go to the gym. I haven't been to I got sick. Oh, so for you guys out there, remember a couple of weeks ago when I had to put on sunglasses because my head hurt and you guys were like, you gotta, take care of yourself and you gotta do this and you gotta do that. Remember that? It was a sinus infection. There was putting pressure. Nothing I could do about a sinus infection. It is what it is. I get them every so often, like typically once a year. And it was the onset of a sinus infection. Hadn't kicked in full stream yet. Full stream. So I'm all better now, but that's what it was. Okay. All right. Ernesto says, I did a comparison of the previous VDH stems versus the two, and it's like night and day. And I have a high-end i7 laptop with RTX and don't have any issues. Yeah, I did that video too. It is night and day. The Stems 2.0 is dramatically better than 1.0. In fact, it's so much better. I question how we even thought that it was good in the first place. Well, if you guys remember my video, my videos have always been pretty, like I'm very honest in my videos. And when Stems 1.0 came out, I was like, I like the technology. I don't like the way it sounds, but there's a future here, but the technology is kind of amazing. And the sound is kind of trash. People are like, oh no, you just have to tweak and you have to do this. You have to do that. No, you didn't. They needed to fix the algorithm, and they fixed the algorithm in Stems 2.0. So it becomes more apparent considering that DJ and virtual DJ, they use the same open source technology. If you listen to DJ now, it sounds really bad. Like really, really bad. Like I feel sad because that they got to update it. They do. Stay away from the S7, says Ras1. Up faders aren't pro level on the S7. That depends entirely on what you're doing, how you're DJing, what you're DJing, and what you do. I've used the S7. The S7 faders are the same as the faders on the SX, even like the 1000 faders are all the same. It's just their standard Pioneer fader stems. I've never had a problem with the fader stems ever. So, but I don't also consider myself to be a scratch level professional DJ. I'm a DJ. So most people, keyword, most people aren't breaking stems. Okay. So you don't have to stay away from the S7 unless you are a scratch psycho. It's and that's just what it is. I think we get into this habit of going, well, they're not as good as. Okay, they may not be as good as, but are you even going to be using the technology, the equipment like that? Because if you're not, then it doesn't matter. It's kind of like buying a car, right? And you get some new tires on it, and let's say the tires are rated to go, upwards of like 120 miles per hour. You could go that and not have a blowout. Well, that's great. Are you going to be driving 120 miles an hour? Because if not, do the 100-mile-an-hour rated tires, or are they fine too? You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it just depends on what you're doing. I don't make blanket statements anymore. That's just not my thing anymore. I'm very open-minded now. This is the new Cleveland Terry. I'm very open-minded. I see the good. There are good people on. No, I'm kidding. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Power just a Steam. Just bought a Steam Deck Plus coming Monday. Going to use it for streaming at home and going to code it up for Sound Switch as well. So I just saw the new Steam Deck Plus, the rotary knobs. When did that come out? I am so behind. I am literally so behind. As a matter of fact, let me show you what it looks like. Hold on. I need to bring my computer back up. Okay, let's take a look here. I saw it on their actually on their Steam Deck update, but why isn't it on like their main page? Stream Decks. There we go. All right, here we go. Stream Deck Plus. Why are you doing this to me? Demo. Okay. Don't do that. All right. Stream Deck Plus. All the feels for fast, smooth, intuitive workflow. I don't know what this is. I just like looking at it. I really like looking at it. This is the kind of stuff that wins me over. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming that you won't zoom for me. There we go. I'm assuming that these knobs represent this stuff right here. So you can lower your alerts and your game invoice and all that stuff, and your lights. That's cool too. I don't need it. I don't need it. But damn, is that sexy. Super sexy. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. I'm dropping down here, trying to catch up here. I have one myself, thanks to mainly for hobby, not doing gigs. So I don't think I need all the extras on the S11. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Rane 70. Big fan. S7 is really good too. So it's, I think, the one thing that the Rane 70 does not have, I can't remember at the moment. There was something. There's something insignificant. For you, it won't matter. Okay. Philip Tan in the building. I'm going to be seeing Philip Tan in a couple of days once I find out where my hotel is. Again, for all of you people that don't know, I'm going to be in Boston late Sunday night, but I will be in Boston for the Harvest of Sound conference from Monday through, well, technically I'm there till Thursday. And I'm going to be the keynote speaker for the show. So I'll be speaking on Monday morning. I have no idea what I'm talking about yet. I'm literally drawing out my bullet points right now, and I'm trying to figure out, I don't know that if I'm capable of talking for long periods of time. I'm not sure I don't know. I might have to write out an entire script. That's sarcasm, right? So, I'm writing out my outlines and my bullet points. I've actually tried to do the whole scripting thing and reading from the script. It does not work for me. Everybody's different. I can write a script and then review it, maybe read over it, and then be done with it, and then just keep my bullet points. But like, I can't do a script. So I'm going to do my outlines. I'm going to do a little PowerPoint so it has my bullet points on there, so I know what I'm going to be talking about, so I can stay on point. But that's about it. It's all going to be, free thinkers here, free thinkers. So if you are in Boston or close to Boston, hey man, come check it out. All right. BW in the building. What is going on? All right. M1 is game changer. Yep. Agreed. Part of me thinks light falls when it disagrees with you. Well, it might be. Maybe so. Okay. Max SBL says it says the pre-compute is a good feature for DJs with little computers. Yeah, I agree, but look, I'm not the biggest fan of making sure that everything is backwards compatible forever. I don't really care. I mean, it's nice to have backwards compatibility, and you definitely want to have backwards compatibility for, a certain amount of years, but after a certain point, you got to let these companies move on, because for every backwards compatible thing they make for you, it's holding back the potential for the people that are actually on the bleeding edge. So I would rather have, I'd rather lose out on a couple of years and know that like I'm getting like the best of the best of the best. Okay. Edge says, what are your thoughts on the Wolf Mix by ADJ? I have not used it. Maybe when I'm in Boston, I'll set it up to where they can send me one out. I'd like to use it. Everybody talks about it. So that's kind of the future. Everybody knows that I'm using SoundSwitch. Although if I still like Lightrider / my DMX Go. And if American DJ could make a solid DMX iPad receiver, then maybe we could talk. But that thing cuts out left and right, and I can't have that. I'm sick of it's just not very dependable. Okay. But it looks good. That's all I can say. It looks good. So, maybe they'll send me one. I'll email the guy. I have his card somewhere and see if they'll send me one. Power friend. Okay. Power friend. I have 2 Mackie Thumb 15s, want to add a powered sub. Won't use it that often and have limited room in the vehicle for transport. Looking Alto for 600. Should I spend more? Okay. Here is the bottom line for speakers in general. Okay. Typically speaking, the more money you spend, the better they will sound, especially with subs. You can get away with having either decent to mediocre highs because the sub's going to make up for those mediocre frequencies coming out of it. But a bad sub is a bad sub. And if you have a bad sub, it becomes almost worthless anyway. You're almost better off just buying some better highs with a good low and good low and mid and just rocking it that way than buying like a cheap alto sub. I would not. I spend the money. You're not going to get a quality sub for bump it up to $1,000 and you can do a lot more. Get yourself a QSC, get yourself a U sub. You can get one for about $1,000 out there. That's what I would recommend. I would not recommend if you are somebody that is trying to do this professionally. I don't recommend that. If it's a hobby, do what you want. But if you're like getting paid to do this and people are expecting a certain level of sound, don't get the alto. Okay. But let me back up for real quick. Max SPL is right. If you're only doing subs once or twice, 4 or 5 times, a year, then yes, just rent a sub. Get yourself a JBL Eon rental. It'll cost you like $75 to $100. And then after that, pass that cost on to your client. So just, when you're asking how many people are going to be there and what's the venue, that will dictate what your price is going to be. So that's what I would recommend. That is why compression went out over high def. Space has value. True. Samuel Patterson, you are 100% right. I just did a bar gig, and part of the shtick was to play All I Want for Christmas. Each time I played it with a different beat right off the cuff. Yeah, exactly. I see. DJ Macatech says that's why compression went out over high def. Space has value. Well, yes, space does have value. But you can pre-compute on those too. So you're always adding additional space. But yes, you are correct. Okay, let's scroll down. I know I'm a little far behind here. Mark Smith in the building. What's going on? Matthew says Best Buy has a trade-in values that made phones profitable to buy. 250 used with the 200. Yeah. Easy to sell the phone for itself. Google's making a big push against iOS. They can make as big a push as they want. It's going to be really hard to pull an iOS person to Google. It has nothing to do with Google. Google makes good phones. So does Samsung. But my ecosystem suggests that I'm staying with iPhone. Period. That's where I'm going to be, and when I see things like, I believe, like for instance, Ableton Live has a phone option, which allows you to, make a beat, make a whole song, and then upload it to the cloud and then bring it back down into Ableton, and then you can just rock it. Like, that's dope. I think it's only for iOS right now. DaVinci Resolve is coming out with their iPad version. I believe it's only iOS. So no matter how good Google is, if companies won't put an emphasis on, giving their users the same amount of quality apps, I'm not going over there, So it's like the same thing with Algorithm DJ. Yeah, they have a PC version, but it's not nowhere near the Mac version. So what's the point? Okay. DJ Satch says, are there any rumors on when Rane will be releasing the Rane 1, MK2, Rane 4, whatever it's called? There are no rumors. And if there were rumors, I would not be able to say them anyway because I do have an NDA. But I will say this. This is my speculation. My speculation is when Serato Stems comes out of beta, you'll see an announcement. That's I've been saying this for like 2 months now, and I think I'm going to be right. So you can just quote me on that and let's see what happens. But that's it. So, but again, there's still the matter of, we're still in a manufacturing hole right now. So I have a feeling that even if they announce something, nobody's going to see any hardware until January, February, no matter what. Whenever they announce it, it's going to be 2 to 3 months before you can get it. That's just what I think. Especially if you're not like the first to buy. It's just the way it works. But we do know it's not going to be the Rane 1 MK2. Okay, guys, this has already been like established. The jog wheels do not move on the new Mixer, whatever it's called, coming out. They don't move. This is more like a DDJ 1000 competitor over the Rane 1. So just, I don't want you to get your hopes up and then you see the jog wheels don't move and you're like, oh man, that's where we are. Oh, Philip. Yep. That's probably what happened. It's $200. I mean, the problem is, look, I only have the, I got the Stream Deck. What is this? The Stream Deck Mini regular. This is the regular one. I know there's an XL too. And like mine, I got the old version where the USB is connected. I would rather have one without that. I don't know. I kind of want it. If I can take that Steam Deck and then have the knobs mappable to like my Final Cut, to also like, I mean, I have an Ableton push, so I don't have to worry about that. But to like my Final Cut and allow me to do, better trims, I might buy one. I'm a gear whore. I try not to. I honestly try not to, but I am definitely a gear whore. I don't buy anything else for myself. Like my wife has to like force me to buy new shoes. I'd rather have a piece of gear. I'm not like Queso. His wife's just like, spend what you want, honey. Spend what you want. Like, that's not my wife. Well, and more importantly, it is my wife. Actually, let me back up. It is my wife, and that's the problem. Like, my wife would be like, yes, go buy that new piece of gear, because then I can buy what I want to buy. See, it's a lose-lose situation. Okay. Okay. But the funny thing is, I'm on Monterey. I'm not obviously on Ventura, but I technically don't have a reason once my Rev 7 and my basically I need my Rev 7, I need the Rane 1, and I need my Denon Prime Go with virtual DJ to be able to run in Ventura. That's it. Everything else, because I have a new version of Ableton. I know that runs there. That's it. Everything else, I'm good. I know Final Cut will run perfectly because it's Final Cut. So yeah, I might update. I might update. Maybe. Although there's not really anything. You can stack the knobs. Oh, that's great. Okay. Jamon in the building. What is going on? Joar2 says you on the East Coast? No. I'm on the West Coast. Born and raised. LA. Okay. Philip 10, looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully they put you in the same place as the convention. I'm hoping that too. Because I already see the weather is crappy and it's raining and all that stuff. So I don't want to be anywhere else. I'm DJing at the nightclub. All the people are DJing on Tuesday night. So I don't have any real information about that, but everybody's doing like 20-25 minute sets. So should be fun. 20-minute set, that's easy. You can fly through a 20-minute set pretty easily. Okay. You have any experience with the Bose Tone Match 4s? Just got one. I don't, but when I tell you that like everybody and their mama tells me I need to have a tone match, I just don't. I don't know, man. I'm I'm all for external hardware making your life better, but I shouldn't need it in order to have a good sound. Now, from what I hear, it dramatically changes the sound. I don't know how that's possible, but hey, maybe. I might contact JBL one more time and have him send me one. That would be the only way. I'm not buying a tone match, for no reason. Okay. Retro DJ says, I've been DJing from 2006. Never do the technical setup. Just hook up CDJs, mixer, and off I go. Please explain, what does unbalanced actually mean on mixers for mics, etc.? You know what? I actually cannot give you that information because I don't personally know. I don't know what the benefits. I mean, obviously the benefits of a balanced signal is you're getting the same. You know what? Let's look it up. I'm not even gonna try to assume. Let's look it up. I'm sure somebody in the chat knows. Okay, let's see what it says here. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured, but I didn't want to say it. In general, it says balanced audio will give you a better, stronger sound across the board without any extraneous noises. Unbalanced audio is susceptible to picking up noise and interference over long distances. That's the difference. Yeah. And balanced audio uses three conductors to carry the audio signal. Two of the conductors carry negative and positive signals. And obviously unbalanced does not. So it boosts up your decibel level to a consistent sound. So it looks like it's about 4 dB. You'll see on the gain. So there you go. So less noise. That's the difference. Okay. But it's clickable, not smooth knobs. Ooh, stop, power friend. You get me all excited. Okay. Yes, and I know Ventura support is coming with Serato. I did know that. Okay. Okay. You guys are being real good today. You guys have been good today. What time is it? It is 11:13 and I have no questions because I have nothing but professionals on here. So I'm going to give you a second to answer questions or else I'm going to leave earlier than I intended. So yeah. And while we do that, Okay. I was actually back in my chair, and then I saw a question from Retro DJ. CT, do you record your mixes at live gigs for reviews later on for archive purposes? And the short and long answer is yes. 100% I do record. Now, I don't always record because I record my sets for two different reasons. One, for like IG content. Record my mixes, get the camera, sync up the audio, put it in, call it a day. That's what I've been doing. The problem was on certain occasions, I stream music, right? And if you stream, you can't record internally, which is, it is what it is. It's stupid because there's tons of ways around it. Now, if I'm at home and I'm recording a mix, yeah, I will use Ableton Live, output it, and then I'll have multiple channels, left and right. So then I can have two different channels, makes it easier to mix, add things in later on. That's the number one thing. If I'm at home, I'm not going to use Ableton Live when I'm out and about. That's just too much processor power, and I'm concerned. I got lighting, I got sound switch, I got all these things. No, thank you. So, what I do is, I got myself, and look, I know, I'm the wrong guy to say this. I got it for free, when I was at Sweetwater. They gave us a whole bunch of stuff, but I have this Tascam PortaCapture, and what I do here, it has obviously multiple outs, and like if you can see from the side here, get some lighting here. You got there we go. You got your XLRs. You have a 1/8 input and output. You have all more on the other side. So this can be used for like podcasts. These are actually microphones too. I just took them off so they're cleaner. But this can be used for everything. And I just now run my RCA master right out to the input and record. And what's good about this, I was really annoyed for a moment because it is a battery powered. I'm like, why would you not make this rechargeable? This is stupid. It's a waste of my time. So my batteries were starting to die, and I was like, oh, this is annoying. But the good news is it does have a USB-C port, and it can be powered by USB-C. So I just plug it in now and don't even worry about the batteries, and I'm good. Record all my sets through there, take it out, pop it out. I always listen to my sets because it is not every set is perfect. Not every set. Sometimes you're DJing and you might be rocking that party and legitimately rocking the party. And then you go back and play stuff and you're like, ooh, that transition could have been better. Why did I cut out of this song so early? Why did I do this? Oh, why did I throw an echo when I should have thrown a reverb? All these things pop up, and it just kind of makes you better in general, So that's why I record. But I also record for all of my IG stuff, and then I have clients that are always like, "Oh, we want you to fly out to Cabo. We want you to do this," and I'm like, "Cool." They're like, "But we need to hear how you mix." I'm like, "Dude, you literally came to me. You know how I make. Yeah, we need to hear a whole thing." And here's the thing about providing potential clients mixes. It's stupid. Not because of the mix, but because DJs play for the crowd at hand, not for the crowd to be. So most clients, when they're trying to pick DJs, are thinking about what they want in their head, right? So let's say they're listening to your thing and they're like, okay, cool. And then you play a song and you're like, ooh, I hate that song. Well, that's a ding against you in their eyes, which it shouldn't be, because it's not your party. It's not your request. It's not what, the DJ's not a jukebox. He doesn't play from 1 to 30 and just keep going. Like, we play based upon the crowd. Most clients don't know that. They don't think that that's what we do. They just say, show me your playlist. Show me your playlist. Like, I don't have a playlist. Show me what you play on a party. I don't have that. No, you don't get to see what I play. No. So you can dissect every song. I don't like this song. I don't like this song. I don't care what you don't like. Okay, cool. But you're not going to bind my hands so I can't actually DJ anymore. If you're that people, go hire somebody else. I've worked too long to like be. I almost legitimately told a client to kick rocks 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Literally, she was so pushy and irate and would not listen to a thing I was saying. I was like, you might need to go with somebody else. I'm about to refund your deposit. We're going to walk away because I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to be treated in a way. You don't get to talk about my company and what we do in any way just because you feel like it. If we're not what you want, go somewhere else. I'd rather do a party where people want us there. I think ultimately what happened with this one client was, she wanted another DJ company. I don't think they were available. So then we were her second choice, but we were our second choice only if, you know what I mean? Like I need to have this, I need to have these people, I need to have this DJ. And then when the DJ and the MC weren't available, she freaked out. I don't understand. I'm like, okay, I'm about to walk away. And she changed her tune after I said that. Sometimes you have to hit them. Okay. Look, Raphael says, do DJ business have a slow season time of year? Depends on what you're doing. Technically speaking, if you can get into, okay, like my company does for the most part, bar and bat mitzvahs, corporate, some weddings. So bar and bat mitzvahs work through the school year, which means that from middle of August through middle to late June is when we are working our butts off. July is a dead month for us. Dead. Now, if we could make that and get a push for weddings, I think we have like 3 events in July, and keep in mind, we have 3 events in July. Our May and June is like 30 events. Okay. So and I'm not talking about May and June. I'm talking about May is 30 events. June is 30 events. So that's where our bread and butter is. So we could make a force and push and make a push for, more weddings in July and mid-August. But like, I don't know. I kind of like not working. It's silly because, it'd be great to bring money in, but I like the fact that I'm like, I can just refresh for, 4 weeks. I need it. It's a lot of work. We do like 500 events a year. It's a lot. So I like the break. So yeah, anyway. Okay. Ruben Becker says, thoughts on stickers for branding and such, like 12-inch skins and stuff like that. I like them. I like stickers. I'm not a big fan of throwing stickers up on like, poles and things like that. But, you get a sticker, you throw it on your vinyl, you throw it on your stuff, you throw it on your laptop. Like, I'm totally fine with that. I think everybody, like, I have not made my new brand for my laptop just because I haven't had, sorry, I haven't had time to do so. Because, obviously I wanted to make a brand new logo and stuff. I just ran out of time. So that's going to happen sooner or later. Do those parents not bang in November? No. The problem is it's not that they don't bang. They just choose not to have parties when kids are out of school, because then they have to compete with vacations and trips and, all of those things. So they just keep it with the school year because they know the kids are going to be there. Bar and bat mitzvah is more than just a birthday party. Yes, if you want to break it down to like the bare bones, it's a birthday party, but it is a religious ceremony. It's the transition from basically a boy to a man, a girl to a woman. So it's like a quinceañera. It's a big deal. It is the big deal in the Jewish religion. Okay, let's see here. State Farm says, with Maestro DMX in all lighting, promoting They will take live sound and put it into a light show. Would you run it out of a master out? Maybe or booth out of ask with Maestro DMX and AI lighting promoting that they will take live sound and put it into a light show. Would you run it out of the master out? Oh, I see. Or booth out or headphones. Well, I mean, I don't understand the fact that they're playing the audio. I'm a little confused at that. The whole point, while still producing sound in the speakers. Yeah, I'd need to see more. I don't really want it. I wanted to read what I'm playing. I don't want it to take every song and then make a full on mix because then I'm not. That's silly. I need to see. I need more information. So send me the link if you get a moment. Stay Farm. Just you can DM me on IG. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. YouTube question, not a DJ question. Is it better to put out a video whenever they are ready, or is it better to put them out on a regular schedule? Okay. This is a very good question. Better than what I'm doing right now, which is I haven't put out a video in a little over a week now. So what you want to do is you just want to make sure that whatever your minimum is what you try to keep up. So if you post on your thing in your description, delivering, new videos weekly, or, 1 or 2 videos weekly, like then just stick to that. If you do more, great. If you do, but you have to make sure you try to maintain at least that one. I have videos right now that are done that I haven't posted just for whatever reason. You're not going to see any more. YouTube is not like IG. Okay. With IG, you can literally you can post 7 videos, 7 reels in a same day. Now, you may not see 7 reels getting the numbers, but they will over time. And that's the thing that I didn't get. So I have a video right now that I'm all of a sudden getting huge feedback on. And when I posted 2 videos on the same day. The second video I posted got no traction whatsoever. And I was like, oh, I guess nobody likes it. It sucks. No, that's not it. The algorithm just hadn't kicked in because of the 2 videos. Then, but keep in mind, now I'm getting a return all of a sudden. That's the only thing people are liking at the moment because I haven't posted any videos, this week. So with Reels, it doesn't matter when you post it. Sooner or later, it's going to come back around. So just do what you do on there. On YouTube, if you give them too much, the algorithm for YouTube doesn't know what to do with it. The algorithm is expecting you to do what you normally do. So if you do 1 or 2 videos, you post that video, the YouTube algorithm will say, okay, bam, notifications, blah, 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 put you in the thing. But if you do 5 videos, the algorithm is going to go, we don't know if this is continuous, if this is new, or if you're going to continuously do this. And it takes a while for it to kick in. But nothing wrong with pre-scheduling videos if you have the time. I don't personally have the time. So like right now, I have to all of a sudden do a video that I didn't intend on doing because I'm traveling on, Sunday, and I will be busy on Monday. I get a pre-schedule. So if it's a big video that I'm doing, let's say there's an embargo release, yeah, I'll do those videos and then post them and then set a scheduled time to pull them. I mean to release them. But everything's different. Okay. Okay, so says, you say the VDJ works pretty well with Denon controllers. It works the best with Denon controllers. Would you say it works well with the Rane 70 and 12 setup? I'm thinking of trying VDJ. I would say yes and no. Okay. Here's my only problem with Virtual DJ. I don't like the way it handles turntables and DVS. Now, I know the Rane 12s aren't technically DVS, but the same thing kind of applies. I just don't like the way it feels. There's something about it with turntables and DVS, that it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't behave like I think that a turntable setup should behave. Everybody's different. You may use it. If you come from a controller, maybe it's not a big deal. But since I come from vinyl, it just feels off. It feels off. Romeo says, any word on the Mixon 8? Well, what I can tell you is it's supposed to be released this month. I know that. What I can also tell you is I don't have a Mixon 8 in my possession yet because just like everybody else, they don't have enough gear. So I may not be reviewing the Mixon 8 when it comes out, and I'm okay with it. There's a couple of pieces of hardware right now that I know are coming out and I'm going to have to do videos on. I won't have the gear. It's like going back 5 years when I didn't get any gear to review. That's what's going to have to happen. But what are you going to do? If the gear's not there, if they don't have enough supply to get to everybody, then you don't get any. Move on. Okay, Miguel says, I have an M1 Max 64. Okay, and my setup does not want to play nice with the USB-C to USB-B cable. It glitches with hardware. Only works with Apple OEM USB adapter. I use S11 and RZX and same issue. Get away from the USB-B cable. Wait, so you have, okay, let me back up. Which USB-C to USB-B cable are you using? Miguel, let me know. Because it does make a difference. If you're using like a printer cable one, then you might have more problems than if you're using like, one with like a ferrite breakout. I have been using chroma cables and they've been really good. That's what I'm that's what I'm saying. So here's a perfect example of like manufacturers. Now, I don't fault any manufacturer for being busy and not being able to get back to me. But if you start a conversation with someone, you might want to return the emails. If you say, what do you need? And I say, you know what? I don't really know. Just why don't you send me a pack that kind of works for you? And then you get no responses from there whatsoever. Like, that's just weird to me. I don't know. Manufacturers, there's too much power in manufacturers. It's probably the wrong word that I want to say. It's not that it's too much power. They believe they have more power than they do. And I think over COVID, they've learned that, the tech guys have a little more say in what blows up and what doesn't. I don't want to be the guy that makes or breaks a product, but still, you gotta be able to turn to people that, the world of DJs are listening to. Anyway, okay. Okay. If I skipped you higher up, feel free to go ahead and hit the ask again. All right. Okay. How often do you post on your company's social media account? I'm considering posting more often. I don't want to spam my followers. You can't spam your followers, Max. They follow you for a reason. And the only way you can spam your followers is if every message that comes out of you is something about selling. We don't talk about selling on our IG, on my corporate IG. We just show you great parties and great times, and that'll sell itself. But if you're in there and you're trying to be instructional and you're trying to do all these things, most people don't want to see that, especially when they come to your site or they come to your website to see what you're about. And if everything about it is, look at me, I'm selling and this is this and tech stuff. Nobody cares about tech stuff. Just provide them with what they want to see. People are rocking. They're continuously rocking parties. They haven't not updated since May of last year. That's a big thing. Dates are a big thing. So if you don't post party videos and they're not consistently recent, people go, oh, they must not be doing work. That's what I do when I look at other DJ companies. Like, why haven't they posted in 4 months? Why not? Aren't they working? Even if if you're working once a week, you should be posting at least once a week, weekly. So as long as you are posting good content, doesn't matter how much you post. They're following you for a reason. And I mean, when it's all said and done, if your followers aren't engaged in what you post, then they don't really want to be there anyway. So let them go. Hold on. DJ Dr. Stun says, do you always use a mixer or sometimes connect speakers directly? I never use a mixer. Ooh, I know. I'm evil. I'm the devil. But I never use a mixer. I go directly in. All of these high-end speakers have crossovers and everything built in anyway. So the only reason that you maybe want to go through a mixer is because of the microphone. And every piece of gear I use has good microphone preamps. So what would be the purpose for me besides, oh no, it crashed. Let me rock through my, let me rock through my, my iPhone real quick. That's it. It's the only reason. But then I have a Denon Prime Go. So I can literally pull out an XLR and pop it into my Denon Prime Go if I need to and keep rocking. Okay. Okay. I'm looking at the videos. Yeah. I every like couple of weeks, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make all my IG videos on Monday. And then I'll just put in my drafts and I'll just release them all the time. And I'm going to make all my YouTube videos on, Tuesday. It doesn't work. It might work for you. It doesn't work for me. I get pulled too many ways in order to do that. So I have to just prioritize, and hopefully when I make my reels, it's just fast. I don't spend a lot of time on my reels. A lot of people think that I do. Most of the things that I put on my reels come to me like that moment, and I grab my camera and I record it real quick and then put it up. Like that's how I work, but everybody's different though. Yes, you also get followers more quicker than YouTube. TikTok is owned by the Chinese government, is known to use personal data. I would never let anyone install that app on a piece of equipment. I am IT security professional. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But then again, I mean, are you really going to tell me that Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat are not doing the same thing? You're going to tell me that every app you download, there aren't some that are doing the exact same thing? I'm not justifying TikTok. I would rather TikTok go away, in all honesty. But the fact is, the world is doing it. So it is what it is. That's why it's free. Every one of the companies out there that you sign in for free have access to all of your data. It is what it is. Okay. Okay. Take another sip of your coffee. It's getting cold. Actually, it's not coffee. It's actually apple juice. And it's already cold. I'm going to buy one of those Ember cups. They're the ones that have the battery in the base, and it keeps your tea or your coffee the same temperature regardless as to what you're doing with it. Yeah, my wife has one and I love it. At first when she bought it, I was like, this is so stupid. Why would you do this? It's $100 coffee cup. It's a waste of money. And she started using it. And then I'm in my office trying to talk to you guys and my fan's on, and I take one sip of my coffee and I put it down and take another sip, and it's like 30 degrees. Like, Jesus Christ. So I will be buying one. And you know what? I will be writing it off. It is 100% a business expense. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Steak says, is there one DJing controller you would recommend over another for VDJ? I've never used the MC8000. So I don't have an opinion on that. I do love the integration between. There's not one. It's Virtual DJ integrates in all of them really, really well. Like even the Prime 2 is like a brand new computer with Virtual DJ. So yeah, the Prime 4, Prime 2, all of them. Honestly, even the Denon Prime Go is amazing with Virtual DJ. Retro DJ just upgraded from a CDJ 900 to a DDJ 400. Do you suggest I use a mixer for output to my speakers? Okay, so the DDJ 400 is a RCA output, I believe. So yes, you're probably going to want to go to a mixer. I don't think I'd go RCA to XLR in that case. I'd go to a mixer. I can sue those companies in a class action eventually. Good luck with that. Good luck. Again, nobody reads the fine print. They can do whatever they want, and it's just facts. And every time they change something, then they change something else, and you don't even realize. So good luck. It's free. That's how I look at it. Free has its privileges. Okay. All right. 11:42. We have 18 more minutes. And where am I today? I know I got phone calls. Let's see here. Oh, that's what that is. Oh, thank you. 12 ports. Sorry, somebody's sending me stuff. So it looks like a 12 port hub. That's great. That is fantastic. I believe you when you say it works like a gem. I just don't want a hub. So right now on this computer, I have HDMI. Let me go here. I have HDMI, SD card slot, USB-C, 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 and power. If I can't do everything I need to do with this many ports, there's a bigger problem. There is a bigger problem. I need one port for Serato. I need one port for sound switch. And then I have my power. So I have one additional USB-C. So for anybody that's like, oh, I use a hard drive. Well, there you go. You're good. What case on your phone are you using? Is it slippery? It's not slippery at all. This is, I hate cases. So this is a bumper case. It's a bumper case. Let me get out of this thing so you don't see stuff. So you can see on the sides here, it's a full case, but it bumpers. And it has a magnet. See? That's it. So it has no sides, so the buttons are exposed on both sides, and then it has a camera thing so you don't damage your cameras. Really good. It's made by I forget who it's made by. I'll find out before we get off and tell you. But so far, I'm in love with this. I'm in love with this case. It really made me angry when they got rid of the bumper. Apple and everybody got rid of the bumper. Like I hate that. I don't need a bumper for my case. I just need protection for when it lands flat, and the bumper will give that to you. I don't want a full on case. I want something nice and slim. Now, when I'm considering upgrading to the Max. When I get my 15, when I update finally. So if I get a Max, I definitely want the slim case because the Max is already a big ass phone. Like my wife's phone, she has the big ass, stupid, full on bumper. And I'm like, I can't hold this phone. This phone is stupid. But with the slim case, we're all good. Okay. Jake, you're welcome. You're welcome. Serato video mix emergency or virtual DJ for video content. I don't have an opinion on this because I don't get that deep into video mixing. I use Serato video because all of my videos I have random imagery, basic loops, and I have like 40 different styles. So every time I switch to a new song, it goes to that new loop. I put the logo on top of it. It's exactly what everybody wants. So I don't need to do more. So yeah, I have not even used Mix Emergency. I've heard it's really good. I know it's good, but Serato video does what I need. Now, if you are a pure video disc jockey, different story altogether. You know, I know Virtual DJ has a really good one, but I know Mix Emergency is great. Okay, when is Pioneer DJ bringing stems to Rekordbox? December 12th. I have no idea, but I will tell you this. Look, everything is broken out for a reason. Okay, so the way release points are is if you want something to have something, you have to have hardware to match it. So we know that this new Rane device is using stems. They're not going to release that Rane device until stems comes out of beta. That's just a fact. It would be stupid to release a device that doesn't have the necessary things you need in a production environment. There goes my light. Oh no. I'll come back to that in a second. We'll operate in the dark. So if you want Pioneer to come out with stems, you're going to need Pioneer to come out with a stems piece of gear. That's the only way. They're not just going to release stems for all of their old gear. I don't think it's going to happen. That's just not the way traditionally everybody has been doing their stuff. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. T Diesel in the building. What is going on?
So I knew there wasn't anything wrong with the S9 per se. So I guess I didn't think about it. I don't know. Maybe it was just me thinking about the set or me consuming all those shots. Or me consuming all those shots. Hold on one moment. Hey, future me, what are you doing?
I'm editing your videos. What else would I be doing?
No. I get that. Why are you using virtual DJ samples?
Well, you said that you would never use the virtual DJ samples. So I put them in to show VDJ users that we care. See? I'm helping you out.
You know you're probably going to piss them off again. No, we're cool. I'm on the forums. I got a username, I got a password and everything. I'm a part of the community. And when you're a part of the community, you can make jokes, you know, because we're all just having fun. That's what we do. And it's kind of like being black. Because you know when you're black, you can say, hey, come on, man. Trying to get me demonetized? Why are you being so stupid? Well, considering you from the past, if I'm stupid, I got it from you.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever back at you. Why don't you go say something smart on the camera, smart brother? Sorry about that. Let's get back to it.
Okay. By the way, in case you didn't realize, if you're looking in the chat and you see Ruben Becker, Ruben Becker is a member. He is a member of my YouTube community. You notice that his are in green. He's got my little icon next to him with the 1 month. That is a guy that I will answer all the time because he's a member and I take care of my members. I would encourage everybody out there, to look into membership. Look right down below. There's a little member thing. It says subscribe. It's like, I don't know, $3.99, $4.99 a month. But you can support me in all of my technical stuff, and show that you have faith. So, if you are interested in participating and in contributing to my thing, because this is time isn't free. I spend 2 hours with you guys every Thursday. Go ahead and become a member. It supports the channel. It supports me, and it gives me a reason to keep coming back here for you guys. Just throwing it out there. Okay. Power Friend says, when and where is it not acceptable to use a smoke machine? I am doing a large pool hall for New Year's. Is there potential damage? Can I argue it's safe for the pool tables? So, in general, it's safe. In general. That doesn't mean they have to agree with you. Because it's not just, the pool tables. I mean, you can risk setting off fire alarms and all of these things. But in general, smoke machines are fine. I mean, we get the same argument over hazers. So I guess I would rather use a water-based hazer than a smoke machine any day, because then you don't have to deal with all of that temporary smoke. It goes in, it goes out. A hazer is going to charge up the entire room, and then everything that you use is going to look amazing regardless. I would just rent a hazer and call it a day. Because yes, with the smoke machine, you're going to constantly have to be pushing it out, and they may not like that. They just may not. So, it should be safe, but if you can, I'd put it in your bookings to get yourself a hazer. That's what I would do. Okay. Let's see here. Remember all the sink haters. So I am, again, remember what I was talking about with being just completely open-minded and patient with people now? Like, I just, I don't care what you use. I don't. Just don't act like you don't use sync when you use sync. That's all I'm saying. Like, be proud of it. And, hopefully, what the hell you're doing. So sync is not an issue. I don't want anybody using sync without learning how to DJ. That's my main thing. Know how to beat match. Know how to do these things. And then you can use sync all you want. I use sync. I don't use sync all the time, but I mean, we're always using sync. I don't want to get too much time into this, but we're always using sync. My Rev 7, if you're looking at Serato, guess what? The BPMs are on your screen. They're telling you right there. So you go, oh, it's 93.5. Go to your right fader, 93.5. That's sync. That's what you're doing. You're doing a manual sync. Not using sync at all. It's just using your ears. So we're all using it to a certain degree. But I still like the idea of using my faders and because I don't really care about a beat being perfectly on, because I'm not mixing, a 3-minute transition. So if one's at 98.5 and then the new track is coming in at 98.3, guess what? It's not going to go out of sync by the time I mix out. So what do I care? But I use sync all the time. If I'm doing something, or if I got to throw a song on real quick, or if I use sync. I don't need sync though, because I still can use vinyl and be just fine. So just know your stuff. I am watching your feed on my TV, my Mac, and my iPhone plugged in, but logged in the same YouTube. Do you get credit for 3 views? Probably. I mean, credits are relative, but yeah, probably so. Probably so. Keith just in the building. What is going on? How was family trip? And now how broke from it? Oh my God, I'm so broke. I'm so broke. Let me come right back to that one. That'll be my last story. Ed says, where do you get your loops? I'm assuming you mean my loops for video. And I've pulled them from everywhere. Serato. There's a lot of websites out there that are just, what is it? Something with a B. B something. B. I'm sure I got it sitting here somewhere. B. Where is that thing? It's been a while since I've been to it, but Beeple. If you go to the Serato site and download those videos, in the bottom it gives you all these references. So I just went to the references, and then those references went to other references, which went to other references. And then I pulled all my loops from there. And then I also have a I assume we're talking about graphics, not like music. And then I have some videos that I cut up of like dancers and break dancers and like salsa dancers and all these old clips of like Fred Astaire and all those things. And then I cut those up and then I use those also. So lots of options. Okay. Do you use any streaming services? Yes, absolutely, Peter. Beatport. I don't do EDM, so I don't use Beatport, but I do use Beatsource and I use Tidal. Those are my main two that I use religiously. And, as soon as Serato can make it to where I can use them both at the same time, we will be happy. Yes, everybody else does it. I know it. I know. It's very annoying. What's the deal with key sync? Heard some DJs on Facebook Live that use key sync and it sounds freaking crappy. So, I mean, technically speaking, if you're hearing Mickey Mouse, it really should be the key sync is off, not on, because that's old school when there was no sync and you couldn't go. So on regular turntables that had +8, like regular Technics 1200s that had +8, if you were DJing without Serato, you could never go more than like +4 because your tone, your key would change so much that it would sound like crap. So most people DJ'd, between, 2 and 4. That was where you stayed. Now with, key adjust and all those things, you can go up to +8, +16, and it's not a big deal. So I think that's what we're talking about. Now, there is a key sync where, if you're playing stuff, the BPM stays the same, but then it tries to match the key that you're mixing into. And for that, I would say just maybe not mix those two songs together. Maybe not. Maybe use your ears and listen and say, you know what? These things don't work together. It's okay that not every song works together. Or, hey, you know what? Because these songs don't work together, I gotta bring the intro beat back without the bass line so that I can start mixing in. There's tons of ways to get around things being out of key. And if it's a rapper, like a rap song, and you're bringing it in, you don't have to worry about the bass line and the rapper being on key. It's just the rest of the instruments. And now with Serato and with Virtual DJ and DJ, you can just take out the instruments. Problem solved. Where if DJs in the next year are not better across the board, I will have the worst rant video in existence. Edge with the $1.99 tip. Thank you so much, fam. Appreciate you for appreciating me. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's a super chat. There's so many options here, guys. You can super chat. You can become a member. And for the members, I will be in January starting to do member only content. Just haven't figured out what I want to do yet. It might be behind the scenes. It might be just me kind of talking to you guys. Like I will have that also. So yeah, becoming a member is a good thing. Okay. I don't have any recommendations on Hazer, but I see people posting Hazer stuff down. Because there's a lot of companies out there. Okay. Yeah, but back to streaming, Beatsource, Beatport, they're all good. They all do the job. I like them all. Okay. Sometimes you don't have to just mix. Sometimes you don't have to just mix. Just use a transition. Yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean, you're always mixing. No matter what you do, you're mixing. Even if you're dropping on the one, you're still mixing. But I don't know what you mean when you say just use a transition. Are you referring to like using like an effects, like echo out type stuff, or a break or something like that? Yeah. But like I said, I don't know. I don't personally think about music the way a lot of these new DJs think about music. I think about sound, tone, pitch. These are things that come into my head. And if a song is that grossly off, I will put it to the side. We have these little things called prepare folders. You can put your song in the prepare window. You can come back to it later. Like, it doesn't have to be at that exact moment. So, I put it in there. I do another song instead. There's tons of ways to get around it. And if the song is like too slow, yes, you can do an echo out. You can do a reverb pop. You can even use like Serato's, duck down effect, go into it, and maybe it drops down into like a, I don't know, something slower. Anyway, there's tons of ways to get around it. And I just think a lot of people, I don't know, they get kind of lazy. They just get kind of lazy. Miniac says 2 techniques and a 96. Don't even know what sync is. Fair enough. Yeah. I'm not against anyone not using sync. I mean, I know you can't see it right now, but there's tons of vinyl over there. That's what I grew up on. And it's once you can do records and actual mixes, everything is easy. That's why it drives me nuts when people are like, oh, they changed the layout of this controller and they did this and they did that. It's like, dude, I mix on vinyl. There's nothing on here that there's nothing on here that I absolutely need to use. And that's the thing. Serato can go all the way back to absolute positioning and just DJ. You don't have to use anything. You don't need effects. You don't need anything. You can just DJ. Okay. Couple more questions and I'm out of here. Any idea when the new Rane controller will be released? Carolina Sneakerhead, you're late. You're late, Sneakerhead. I don't know. Like I said before, and even if I did know, I couldn't say anything. But what I have been saying is that you can probably assume an announcement will be made when Serato Stems comes out of beta. That's my guess. Okay. Ruben, what are you using in Serato since you can only choose one, Tidal or Beatsource? My screen did not go black. Your screen went black. Philip, we're just fine over here. Okay. This is a very good question, Ruben. Like a very good question. Okay. All right. So if I'm DJing a club, right? If I'm DJing a club, chances are I will be using Beatsource as a whole because I know the music in Beatsource is geared towards club use, and I can pull down crates. Like I did a Latin club before I went on vacation, and I just pulled down like popular hits, just to kind of reinforce what I was already playing and go, okay. And then if there was something new, I could kind of pull it out there. So that's that. But if I'm working a private event, chances are I'm using Tidal. And the reason that I'm using Tidal is because, as good as Beatsource is, as good as Beatsource is, it's still not to the level of having every song known to man like a Tidal does. So that's why I use that. Sorry. DJ Rainier. I think it's Rainier. $5 sinus infection fund. Thank you. It actually did cost me money. it was not cheap for my sinus infection stuff. And it took a long time. Like I was down to like 3 pills in Florida. And I was like, I'm not done with it yet. Like I still have it. I still feel it. It's today's probably been like, maybe yesterday's been the first day that I haven't felt the pressure. Yesterday I felt it. Today I don't feel it. So, well, hopefully we're done, or else I'm going to need something stronger. Alex Kinch says, sync is great if you're just starting off like training wheels. I don't know that I agree with that. I don't know that I agree with that. Because yes, training wheels, definitely. But I also think it's a crutch. And the reason why I think it's a crutch is because there's so many ways that you can get the beat. You don't need to press a sync button. Like literally, it's on your screen. Like all you have to do is match the numbers up. And that's, kindergarten right there. Put the colors together. There's red and red. Here's a square and a square. But for whatever reason, we can't do that as DJs. 98, done. And especially if you are new, because you're not speed mixing, you're not working with 4 decks. So what's the purpose of the sync in that respect? You should learn how to DJ manually. Sync all you want after that. Really. DJ Reese says, no one cares if you use sync as long as you sound good. However, sometimes DJing sounds more organic when the beat is slightly off and nudging the track and sync manually. I mean, I don't know if you say it's organic. I think it just proves that, you're, that you're a human being and that you're off. However, I do believe that, nobody cares if you use sync. First off, I think there's a huge contingent of people that actually care, but neither here nor there. I don't care that you use sync as long as you know how to do it manually. I don't care if what's a good analogy? I don't care if you drive an automatic, you should still know how to use a manual transmission. Because if some stuff goes down, you need to be able to do what you need to do. So, like, let's just say, for instance, somebody's like, hey, we want you to DJ, come on over here. And you get there and it's like, oh, you have turntables and a regular thing, and I gotta play records. Well, yeah, we're just having fun. Well, I don't know how to do that. What do you mean? I don't know how to use my ears. Like, come on, guys. Use sync as a plus, not as a crutch. You need to be able to DJ. Bottom line, you need to be able to beat match. You need to be able to do those things. That is that is a fundamental foundation of what it is that we do. Period. You have to. Edge, first time viewer. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out today. Honestly. Sync is, I think Greg was saying sync is no good for mixing those older rock songs that were not made using a DAW. Yes, 100%. So people are going to say, get your beat grids up. Okay, yes, you can get your beat grids up. You can download songs that have beat grids already in there. You can grab your rock stuff and your disco stuff and have your beat grid set up, and great, perfect. Guess what though? Let's say you're not using your computer. Okay. You're not using your computer and you're mixing and you got to pull a song from their thing and you're mixing a disco track or a rock track. And now all of a sudden there are no beat grids. And guess what? You're going to sound like crap. So again, do what you want, but learn the basics. Learn the basics. That's it. Learn the basics. That's all I'm at. My son is 16 years old and he's getting his license. You can't just get your license. You got to go through training and then you got to take a test. And in that test, they still require you to back up. They still require you to make a 3-point turn. They still require you to do all these things that, yes, the car has these abilities for you. Yes, you can use the backup camera. They say they don't want you to use the backup camera. They want you to be able to do it without it, because some days you're going to get into a car, maybe you get into a rental, maybe you have to borrow your friend's car or whatever, and that backup camera is not going to be there. So just learn the fundamentals. Okay. But I will tell you this. When I'm making mixtapes, when I'm doing those types of things, I definitely use sync. That's easy. I can fly through my mixtapes that way. Just thinking about people starting off, it's overwhelming if you're brand new. It's not, though. I think we're not giving people enough credit, Alex. And I'm not trying to get down on you. I'm just talking in general. For whatever reason, this new society feels like you have to be babied. It can't be hard from the beginning. That's my problem. Like, people get mad when you say stuff like, well, I learned this way. Oh, really? Did you walk to school uphill both ways too? This is, we don't have to do that anymore, Dad. Like, okay, fine. You don't. But fundamentals are fundamentals. Here's your perfect example. Okay. You're a singer. You are a singer, and, or you want to be a singer. Okay. So you want to make an album. So you go in there, you get in the studio, and then they turn on, what is that stupid, plugin? The plugin that changes the pitch and makes you sound good. So you go in there and you start singing and you use that plugin, and you think you sound good. Okay. But then the plugin is doing everything for you. Then you get to a live show, or somebody says, hey, can you do this over here? And then you try to sing, and all of a sudden you don't sound the same. You know why? Because you never took the time to learn. You never took the time to learn the fundamentals of autotune. Thank you. Of singing. You never took the proper channels to become a good singer. So you're never going to be a good singer. Yes, you can fake it and you'll be fine, but that doesn't change the fact that you're not really a good singer. And that's how I feel about DJs. It's okay to use it. It's okay. If you use autotune when you're recording your album, that's fine. You want the best possible recording. I get it. But when you go on that stage, you should be singing live. And that's the way I feel. Maybe I got old man tendencies in here. Maybe that's just the problem with me. I got old man tendencies, and I don't know. I feel like, but you gotta learn. So it's not that hard to literally look up at your screen and go, that BPM says 90. Okay, so it stands to reason that this next song, the BPM should be 90. It's faster to do that because you're just sitting there waiting for the song anyway. You're not mixing by speed. You're not mixing for speed when you're learning. You're mixing. You're probably playing the whole song and then mixing into a new song. You got plenty of time to get your beats together, to get the BPMs in sync. You got plenty of time. Anyway, enough of that. That's my only issue. When my kid came in and my son wanted to learn how to DJ, he did not use sync. He did not. And but now he knows how to DJ. You sync all you want. My daughter, she's 10 years old. She wants to learn how to DJ. She won't be using sync. And she will be learning on vinyl. Even if it's just DVS, she'll be learning on vinyl. Because anybody can DJ on a controller. Turntables are different. So anyway. Just an opinion, though. What do I know? Just an opinion. Where do you find great sounding risers, transitions, effects? Could not tell you. I'm a old school guy when it comes to effects. I'm an echo out, reverb. That's it. Echo out, reverb, filter. Those are my three. That's it. Sometimes I'll use a duck down just because it's fun. But that's it. Those are the only effects that I use. Okay. Imagine they didn't have a sync button. Yeah. Yeah. But again, like I'm saying, I don't have a problem with using sync. If Jazzy Jeff wants to sync all day, sync all day. We know how good you are. That's not an issue. Scratch Bastard wants to use sync. Use sync. What do I care? We know it. Craze uses sync. Do your thing, man. I don't care. But sync is not the only answer. And when beat grids are bad, when you don't know your music, sync is gonna fail on you. So it's better. And the problem with people using sync, I had a friend of mine, and he started DJing, whatever, got to a point that was good, and then I heard him DJing one day on a stream, and his beats were clearly off, right? And then I'm like, okay, one song, it happens. You get tired, these things happen. Then I hear it again, half hour later. What's going on? So then I text my guy and I'm like, hey man, are you using sync? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, look, not every song syncs properly. Sometimes you might get a song where maybe it says, like I ran into this every so often, 130 BPM song, for whatever reason, will show 90 beats per minute. Actually right around 99. And that's just what it is. So I know that I got to go in there and manually type in 130 to make sure it adjusts. So I told him, like, yo, man, you have to, when it's all said and done, you got to be able to use your ears. You can't just go, let me click the sync button and transition through. What do you guys mean? I'm using the sync button. It's synced. It says it's synced. Sync and sync. That's it. It's blue. I'm good. You can't just do that. No, you didn't miss the Orlando stories. I haven't talked about that yet. Damn it. Speaking of Orlando, I don't know why they only put it on one side. It's weird. They should have put it on both. Anyway. Okay. And DJ Reese is actually correct. You're not learning to beat sync when you do vinyl. You're learning what songs play well together. Exactly. Okay. Yuri says, where is Yuri's post at? Let me go back up here. Why don't I see the rest of your post? Okay. Yuri says, my question is due to my interest in the now defunct Mixar's brand, the Mixar's Quattro in particular. Sorry for the double post, but I don't see your first post. Ask your question again, Yuri. You'll be the last question I answer today. Okay. All right. Audio One in the building. What's going on, fam? And he's exactly right. Okay. Do you have any tips to keep people from requesting songs, and how do you deal with the host DJing for you? I'm sorry. You lost me there. Do you have any tips to keep people from requesting songs? It doesn't exist. People will request songs. I will say this though. And this is, I want to say it's pretty factual. At least it's always been my experience. The more people that request songs while you're DJing would suggest to me that you are not playing the songs that the people want to hear. No disrespect. Okay. I'm not saying it that way. I'm just saying that in general, if you're getting a massive amount of requests and people asking for stuff, it's because you're probably not playing what they want to hear. So modify it and then go from there. So that's the one thing, because like, I've literally been in the situation where like, especially like when when I first started DJing Latin clubs, and everybody was like, hey, can you play this? Can you play that? Can you play this? Can you play Bad Bunny? Can you play Bad Bunny? Can you play this? Can you play that? And then I realized, I'm like, oh, you know what? If I just play Bad Bunny every like 3 or 4 songs, 5 songs, they won't say anything. And literally, after I started doing that at my, all Spanish, reggaeton clubs, I don't get any requests anymore. Don't get any requests because I wasn't really listening to what people wanted. You got to read the room. Yeah. So anyway, but that's just my opinion. Okay. Now, as far as the host, micromanaging you, well, those are the kinds of things you need to initiate from the get-go. And I make damn sure that it is clear that, your request list is an outline for your party. I'm not going to play every song on here. I'm going to play the songs that work, and then I'm going to read your room and then give you what you want. So if a host comes up, it's like, hey man, can you switch to this? I'm like, sure, no problem. Can you like I had this happen to me once. I was doing a bar mitzvah years ago. And the clients were divorced. And there was a lot of kids, a lot of adults. It was like 300 people, 150 kids, like 150 adults. Like it was split down the middle. I'm playing music, right? And then dad would come up and say, hey, can you play some hip hop? The kids want that. I'm like, sure, whatever. Started playing hip hop. Mom comes up. Hey, can you play some music for the adults? They want to dance too. Okay, sure. Do that again. Now I'm there. 5 minutes later. Hey, can you go back to the hip hop? This is what I'm asking for. This is what the kids want. Okay. Play the hip hop. Then mom comes up 5 minutes later. At that point, I stopped. I pulled them both together and I said, you guys need to figure out what you want. You're telling me hip hop. You're telling me adult music. And you're telling me it every other song. I cannot DJ this way. You figure out what's important to you and we'll go from there. And I walked away. And sometimes you got to do it that way. So if a host is micromanaging you, it's okay to say, hey man, I got you. But you got to let me do my job. If you handcuff me, I can't do my job. And if you're telling me every song to play, you're ruining your party. It's okay to say that. It is okay. I think too many people are afraid of offending clients. Don't be an asshole when you say it and you're not offending them. But if you're just like, hey man, hey look, okay, I just got to tell you, this right here is affecting my ability to do my job. And you want me to do a good job, right? Well, then I'm going to need you to kind of step back. I got your playlist. I know what you want. I'm going to play all those songs. I'm playing them now, but you got to let me do my job and you got to let me read the crowd. I cannot DJ this way. It's only going to make your party worse. And let them go from there. And that's it. Oh, that was a question. I would not buy any piece of gear that is out of business. That's just me. Especially if it's going to be like a main setup. They're out of business. Find somebody that's in business. Just like that. That's just an opinion. I know some people are different, but I'm not buying anything that's out of business. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Disney. Hold on. Audio one says reading the room is a skill that one will gain with time and experience. It isn't something that you gain overnight. Definitely watch how people react to the songs. Yeah. So he's absolutely right. And this is legitimately how I DJ. Okay. Especially at nightclubs. I don't really do this necessarily for my parties because I know those like the back of my hand. But here I go. Check it out. Song. Bam. Look up. Look around. Cool. Okay. Song. Look up. Look around. Cool. Okay. Song. They're not reacting to this the way I thought they would. Okay. Let me speed up my transition out. Song. Okay. We're back. Okay, good. That's how you should be DJing. Too many people DJ with their heads down, or they think that they have like the best programming set forever and they want to go through it. Or maybe the one song is a transitional piece to get you to the next song. But guess what? Sometimes it doesn't work. I have this one club I DJ at. This guy is like crazy for what music is played. And if he even hears something that is remotely rappy, he will literally call down and be like, hey, no rap at all. You know? So, you just gotta know the room, you know, like, and just go from there. And you live and you learn and you do better next time. You know, every room when you first get in there is going to be a little different, you know, even if you go to the club all the time. And because when you start DJing it, you know, you go into it with your own set of eyeballs and it might be slightly different than others. That was not my question. I'm sorry, Yuri. Maybe I'm not getting it. The Mixar Quattro has play buttons on the mixer. Does the DJ S5 have that too? Long-time Serato user. I don't have the budget for extra stuff. Yes, the S5 does. Because Serato Lite has the transports on the bottom. They don't have them without being MIDI mapped in Pro, but you can MIDI map them. All that stuff exists there. Okay. Oh, Audio One. I literally stopped. I stopped making them because I would okay, I got a set. I got to do this, and I make my list out and I pull it all in there, and then you start playing. You're like, okay, I've played 3 songs and none of this stuff is working. Okay, scrap it. Let me just play what I feel. Hey, look, everybody's working. So I kind of stopped. Now I just put all the things I want to play in a bucket folder and then go from there. Because for whatever reason, I'm not that guy. I can't preset a playlist and it go off, you know. And you know, people like there are show DJs can do that. You know, Scratch Bastard, you know, a DJ Angelo can get out there and play whatever the hell they want because people are like looking for them to do what they do. You know, club DJs have to play to the crowd and all that stuff goes out the window. Anyway, okay. This shirt is old, like 10 years old. I got it when I was in Oregon, Seattle. I was in Seattle, Washington. Can't find it. I got it at like, what is that place called? Outlander, out something. I don't know. Anyway, not important. Okay. Okay, I'm just reading through. Okay, anyway. So, let's talk about my thing. I actually talked about it on Tuesday, so I don't know who was there on my Twitch channel. But the first thing I will say about Disney World is, and I said this at the show too. So some of you guys might rehear it. But here's the thing. I don't understand the hype. Okay, so I'm in California. So I have Disneyland and California Adventure here. Okay, so I have the majority of things that are at Disney World. The problem with Disney World versus Disneyland and California Adventure is everything, and I mean everything, is spread out. Like legitimately, you go into Hollywood Studios, which is our California Adventure, and you know everything. Tower of Terror is a mile this way, and you got to walk 3 miles to get to Rise of the Jedi, whatever they call that stupid thing, and it's just a lot. There are no parks that are remotely close to one another. You have to take a transport bus everywhere. It is so much walking. Okay, let me put it this way. I ate whatever the hell I wanted to eat. Whatever the hell I want to eat. I never ate one healthy thing the entire week. Okay? I lost 5 pounds. 5 pounds. 5 pounds. Because I walked 10 miles a day. No, just it was so much walking, and it was hot, and everything is just sweaty and damp. Like, I've never been to a place where it's damp outside. Okay, I get that. It's humid. And then you go into your hotel and then you open up the drawer and pull something out of the drawer and your clothes are damp in the drawer that you've never touched, they've come from your suitcase to the drawer. Like, it's just humid all the time. So frustrating. What I did like, because I'm gluten-free, and which is one of the reasons that my relatives go to Disney World. They go like 4 times a year, is because I'm gluten-free. They're gluten-free too. There's so many options. Like at Disneyland, you got some options. You can get a hamburger. You might be able to get, a gluten-free pizza, but like, that's it. There, everything is like so many options for gluten-free. So it was good. My favorite rides there. And that's another thing. Like, for whatever reason, the rides were not as good. Some were better, but the majority of rides were either the same or not as good. So for instance, like Small World, it's garbage at Disney, the Magic Kingdom, garbage. It's like inside, you see walls everywhere. It's garbage, just garbage. Tower of Terror, their version, which is the first one. I know it's the first one, but it's even better than our Tower of Terror was in California, because they do this thing where you actually leave the actual elevator and it takes you through this. It's very, very cool. Very cool. My favorite, Rise is exactly the same, exactly like to perfection. They don't have a California Screaming, but they do have this rock and roll Aerosmith thing. It's pretty much the California Adventure Incredicoaster. Very cool though. The Epcot Center. The Epcot Center. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it's for. It's supposed to be like a fair, but it's just it's just there, and it is so big. Like, when we went to go to Soaring, which is exactly the same. It's exactly the same Soaring, but the problem is it's okay. So if you go to California Adventure and you go to Soaring there, you walk out, everything's kind of outdoors, obviously, but then there's like an airplane hangar that you walk into, and then to the right, even the food places, it's like an airplane hangar, and you walk through and you feel like you're in an airport thing, and you get in line and you go and Soaring, and it all makes sense. It's like a movie theater for Soaring at Epcot. Like, you walk through a food court and you walk downstairs and it literally looks like a movie theater. And that's where it is. So I was not impressed by that. And then you have Racetrack, which is kind of like Cars Land. The Cars ride, very similar to the same thing. The best ride out right now, the best ride, is Guardians of the Galaxy. The best ride. I was super impressed by it. Super, super impressed. It's very rare that like roller coasters catch me off guard, and that one caught me off guard, like legitimately. And I don't want to go into detail, but like, you're all over the place and you can't tell where you're going. The other one, which one? Guardians was great. I'm trying to think. Was there another one? Maybe I can't remember. But Epcot Center is so far. So we had to get to like Guardians, and then we had to get to Soaring, and it's like a mile, and then another mile, and another mile. It's like, it's so much walking. The Matterhorn that they have, which is like the Matterhorn, that's the one that's at where is that one at? Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is actually very good. We went there on our first day, and I absolutely hated it because we took the red eye in, and we were supposed to have a direct flight so we could sleep the whole way, and they changed my flight, and then I had we had a layover. So we got into Atlanta at like 4 a.m, and then we had to get back on a plane like right afterwards. So we didn't really get a chance to sleep. So when we got to Animal Kingdom, we were exhausted and annoyed. We went back to Animal Kingdom on the last day, and it was so much better. So when we got there, we did the little Matterhorn ride, which I thought was amazing the first day, but I was exhausted. Came back on Sunday. I was like, this ride wasn't that good. I just think I was so tired that I didn't know what to expect. What do they call it? The Avatar ride. Very cool. One time. I don't think I'll ever go back on it because it's very nausea inducing. So I don't think I'll be back on that ride, but the experience, excellent. I don't think it needed to be 3D, but it's still a very, very cool ride. One time. Rise of the Resistance is great. It is, but we have one in California. So that really wasn't that big of a deal to me. Yuri, no problem. Thank you so much. Okay. Anyway, which song for Guardians? What did I get? What did I get for I don't even remember. I think it was I don't remember. I don't. I was just so shocked at the ride. So, yeah. Anyway, Rise of the Resistance is very, very good. Across the board. From Rise of the Resistance is the only ride that from start to finish is amazing the entire time. And I'm not going to explain but it's literally like you're basically walking through an entire storyline. And it's everything from like the transport taking you there to, going into the base to, getting in a plane and flying away. Like it's very, very good. Very good. So anyway, guys, I'm talking about Disney. I have been talking about everything else forever. Do I have to talk about gear all day, all night? Is that my job? Is that all I get to do? Fine. Last question, then I'm out. With phase is you can't use normal records at the same time. I want to use it with regular vinyl too. Yes, you can. Use it in HID mode. Problem solved. You can still use your line ends. And you can use your line ends with phase too. You just switch it. Hopefully your mixer has a switchable line. One for DVS, one for your line end. So you shouldn't have a problem. It's tech. Look, Tech Thursday. I'm talking about Disney tech. I didn't say what kind of tech it was. I just said Tech Thursday. Anyway, but yes, you shouldn't have any problem with it. I don't know what your mixer is. I'd have to go back up. So you have to let me know, but you should be able to just fine. Let me go back up. Nathan, I don't know if that means it's they went nuts in a good way or in a bad way. All right, let's see here. Phase. I'm trying to find Maniac. Any way to still start with Serato on a pure vinyl setup? Seems no one still sells a sound card. You mean if going with like an S1 or a DS1 from Denon? Yeah. No, there's no way unless you get yourself an old one. You cannot get just external sound cards anymore. I hope they bring them back because I think there is a use for it. But yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, Disney is very expensive. Very expensive. It's very expensive. I'm broke now and I can't get my wife to stop spending money. Like, honey, we just spent so much money. Can we just not spend money? Well, I have to. I got to get this. I get this. God damn it. Please. We talked about this beforehand. It doesn't matter. As a husband, you don't win. All you can do is just try to keep things from turning into murder. Okay. A buddy of mine and I are thinking of opening a club for the real music nobody offers. If so, would you like to come over and perform there? Sure. Are you in California? Are you going to fly me out somewhere? Yeah, I'm down. Very interesting club. Rarely do those clubs work. They start out that way and then they end up turning into regular parties. But yeah, I'm totally down for it. Ah, he's a rock star there. I thought it was just Ron DeSantos. I thought he was the only rock star. Okay. I have not used any of the VR stuff whatsoever. Looks cool though, but I haven't used it. All right. Yeah, it should work, Miniac. It should work easily. Okay. No, Power Friend. We're talking about Serato based sound cards. They used to make a S1, S1. What do you call it? S1? It's been so long since I've used it. It's basically the scratch boxes. SL, SL1, SL2, SL3, SL4. And you could DJ with any mixer known to man. Well, they don't do that anymore. So the only thing I think if you're using virtual DJ, you can use the other sound cards. Like you can actually customize it, but in general, yeah, sound cards are dead. Okay, guys, it is now 12:41, and I went much longer than I anticipated. But hey, thank you guys for hanging out, because I know I have a 1:00 call. I do, and it's a Google Meet. Can never leave this place. All right, Joe. So I'm gonna head out. Remember, I will be in. I don't know if this show is going to happen next Thursday. I'm going to be in Boston from Monday through Thursday. I think my flight is at 10 a.m. So, and that's Boston. So that's 7 a.m., which means I don't get back into town until 1 or 2. So I think we won't have a show next week. If maybe we'll do a special show. Maybe we'll put it on like Friday, and then I can talk about because I would do it on Thursday, but I actually have a gig right when I land. I got to go do a gig. So, but maybe that's what we'll talk about maybe we'll do a Friday show. We'll do like a Friday at noon show. Let me know if you're into it. I'm not sure. Anyway, yep. And there's my phone ringing. That's the way it works. Okay, guys, girls. I don't know who's here. Thank you guys for hanging out today. I appreciate you. And obviously, make sure you guys are following me on my Instagram. I am like 400 people away from 10K. So I need you guys to get over there and show some love. Again, the content on Instagram is nowhere near the content on YouTube. It's completely different content, still DJ related, but completely different content. Okay. Yeah. 9626. Trying to get there. So, guys, girls, been fun. Let me see if I can get some music on here before we get out of here. I can. I will see everybody next week. Yeah. So Tuesday, I might still have a Twitch Tuesday, because I think we're going to be in the center at that point. So I might do a live stream on Twitch. So anyway, all right, guys. See you soon. Peace out. Enjoy your day. Bye.